Here's Freakier Friday. It is the sequel to the 2003 film Freaky Friday. This time, Lindsay Lohan is a single mom to a daughter named Harper. She meets and falls in love with a single dad at a parent-teacher conference. The daughter of the man is Harper's biggest rival, and they have a hard time coexisting. Jamie Lee Curtis is helping Lindsay Lohan raise her daughter, and is still a doctor as she was in the last film. The soon-to-be family have problems when they can't decide where they want to move after the wedding happens. Following an encounter with a fortune teller, the two daughters and the two mothers swap minds, and they must figure out how to fix the problem yet again. The last Freaky Friday film was light-hearted fun and was a sweet but ununique tale of parents and children learning to understand each other. Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis are lightning in a bottle this time out as well, like they were in the first film. They have so much fun playing these double roles. I am so happy to see Lohan in what seems to be like a good place in her life. There are outtakes over the end credits, and she looks like she's having an amazing time. I'm so happy for her and hope she is doing as well as she seems in the film. Jamie Lee Curtis is such an amazing talent, and I think this late stage of her career has been some of the best work she has ever done. Curtis isn't afraid to be involved in any project and have a great time doing it. I loved when she returned as Laurie Strode in Halloween, and her performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and most recently in The Last Showgirl, where she almost stole the entire show. She just can't do anything wrong these days, and she is firing on all cylinders in Freakier Friday. This sequel adds multiple new characters to the problem, as well as bringing back basically everyone from the original. And the result is a sweet film that I enjoyed for individual moments, but it is a cacophonous mess and can be really confusing unless you are paying very close attention. Since they doubled the count of swap people, we have to follow 4 different people through their various things. Lohan is a music producer, but still writes music in secret. Jamie Lee Curtis has a podcast and is still married to Mark Harmon, and the 2 teenage sisters have high school woes. There is a lot going on in this movie, and none of it is bad, but it's a constant barrage of things in your face at all times. The 2 teenagers plan to break up the marriage between Lohan and her fiancé, and the adults are trying to find a solution to solve the problem. It is odd that even though this is the second time these 2 have gone through this, and they even mention that in the film, they seem to have forgotten what worked the last time out. They do mention what did work a little bit, but then just act like they don't know how to fix anything. That's a slight nitpick though, because it would end the movie too fast, but I wish they would have made the dilemma a little smarter. When we follow the adults in the teenagers' bodies, I was looking forward to what life could have been like in high school for people of this time, but it ends up being the weakest stuff in the film for me. The 2 actresses aren't bad in it at all. In fact, I think both of them have a lot of charm, but they are put into situations where it is basic slapstick comedy and an excuse to bring back a character instead of showing what it probably is really like for someone in high school in the mid-2020s. However, there is a food fight in the film that is absolutely parts of the film for me. Who doesn't love a good food fight? The best stuff in the picture belongs to Lohan and Curtis, though, as the teenagers. There is one joke about Facebook that had me laughing so hard I needed to catch my breath. I also really liked how a British-born teenager reacts to being in a grandmother's body. There is a great scene in a drugstore and some very smart, witty writing that mocks the different stages each character is with their life. It is all surface level and low-hanging fruit jokes, but I can't deny that I laughed a lot. This is a Disney family comedy, so I wasn't exactly expecting deep analysis with this. The ending is obvious, but the way they get there is still sweet and smart. Mark Harmon has one of the best sequences in the film that is a heartwarming moment. I wish he was in the picture more than he was personally. Lohan's fiancé is a really good guy too, but he is downplayed too much, and I think they wrote Lohan to be something a little too on the nose to modern millennial moms instead of fully embracing the counterculture she represented in the first film. I think these 4 women work wonderfully together though, and I smiled and laughed quite a bit in this picture. In summary, this movie is adorable, but insists on hitting you with constant happenings with not as much time to breathe as I believe it needed. The picture runs about an hour and 45 minutes, but they could have easily made this movie 2 hours and 15 minutes with the amount of material they have here, and because of that, the film is undercooked in many ways. I'm mixed on this film overall, but I do slightly recommend it because it's just so sweet, and Lohan and Curtis are so strong and have such a great time playing these roles. I will say that I recommend it for a matinee and definitely for a stream. I have a harder time recommending it for a full price, but you won't waste your time if you do spend the money on it. It's a sweet film with 4 good characters. Just be prepared for an onslaught from minute one that doesn't give you time to think about anything about it until the very end. And maybe, honestly, that was the whole point. I give Freakier Friday a marginal 3 stars out of 4. 4 likable characters carry the film. I just wish their plights would have been less than just a bit, so we had more time to really bond with them all, especially the daughters. Still a good time in the moment, though. And that is my review. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please like and subscribe. Here's links to my other videos. Follow me on social media if you like. And until next time, I am Ghost.